So hello, very happy to join you, albeit virtual, to talk about the work that we're doing here in the School District of University City. So I am Sharonica Harden Bartley. I serve as the superintendent, and my co-presenter is.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leslie Moylan, and I am the director of the Missouri Environmental Education Association.
So we are very excited to talk with you about health, well-being, and educational equity. We believe that it is a natural progression as we work to create inclusive environmental equity and eco-action in our schools. So this is one school district's journey and how we partner with Leslie and her team. So our objectives for today are to talk about what this notion of well-being and joy, what it really means in the context of school climate, to make connections to the three pillars of a green school, to talk about how school climate leads to positive environmental practices, and again, those connections to pillars of a green ribbon school. So I'm going to start with the ACEs, and many of you are already aware of the ACEs study, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And so you've probably seen this tree. I'm going to anchor the conversation around what's at the bottom of the tree, kind of the root. And those are the things that really impact our ability to create a safe, vibrant, equitable environment where all children can thrive. So environment looks a little different depending on your context. In the context of University City, we are a suburban district in St. Louis, and we have 87% of our students are African American, about 70% receive free and reduced lunch. And for many of our students, the environment reflects these things. And I'm not going to read them to you, but you can see them there on your screen. And we know most recently there was a significant impact to children of color and children of poverty related to COVID. So we know that trauma discriminates. We also know that trauma creates additional stressors for children. And we're seeing the impact of trauma having a long-term effect on students and their ability to thrive in schools. Black children are more likely than white children to be exposed to frightening or threatening experiences that might be reflective in an ACEs. And we also are seeing that these issues definitely impact a child's ability to thrive academically in school. So in U City, relationships are at the heart of everything that we do. And there is solid research that states that one meaningful relationship can have a mediating effect on toxic stress. And we know that resilience is born out of strong and healthy connections. We call it being unflinching as we lead with our head and our heart. We often have a lot of smart people in educational spaces, but it's important that we also balance and bring that heart and really see the whole child, see the whole person as we work to educate them. We created a phrase, heart of a lion. Through the pandemic, it morphed into health of a lion. So we use those terms interchangeably. The lion is our mascot, but really emphasizing that we put our hearts in everything that we do for our children. Learning Reimagined is our academic and cultural vision for our district. And at the root of that, the core of it, I should say, is well-being and joy. I talked about relationships, how no meaningful learning happens absent a relationship. And so Learning Reimagined is built on 5 core priorities: a rigorous modern learning experience, having excellent staff, all hands, so leveraging all partners, and then making sure that our resources are allocated in a fair and equitable way. And I've already mentioned well-being and joy. Equity is a word that we live in U City. And it is a word that is evident in our actions, in our efforts around sustainability. We have created a sustainability course at our middle school. We are filtering that course down to our middle school to our elementary school students. We focus a lot on mindful practice. You'll see a visual picture that one of our students illustrated. And I asked the student, I said, what does this represent? And she said, joy. I feel joyful when I just fall out and I'm in a field and I can just lay in the grass. And so you'll see our students representing that joy and that voice and action through sustainable efforts in everything that they do. We also believe that when students are respected, loved, safe, challenged, healthy, cared for, and empowered and heard, we believe that they're able to be successful. Educators, we love to use a lot of different acronyms. So SEAL, you might have heard of SEL. We like to use the term SEAL, so social, emotional, equity, and academic learning. We believe those things go hand in hand. You'll see a theme of a tree. Relationships are at the core of our student success, and some approaches and practices that we use to address our student success or help our students to be successful are our restorative practices work, student voice, and then of course, trauma-informed practices. So social justice in University City, as in many of our schools across the country, our students want to be heard. This visual here is a photo of our students who really wanted to elevate the Black Lives Matter movement and really raise awareness against police brutality and really support humanizing policing practices. So our students planned and led a student protest. They created the t-shirts you see that say "You Woke." They actually sold those t-shirts and the proceeds went to a neighborhood called The Loop, which is near our school community, where that businesses were unfortunately vandalized during some protests that were not positive and constructive. So students really taking charge of their learning, using their voice and advocacy for the good of others. So this is just one example of student voice and social justice. Another example of students and our work. These are two of our scholars who wanted to bring awareness to gun violence, particularly in schools. And this was after the Parkland shooting. And so they decided to have a silent protest where they placed a pair of shoes to represent all of the victims, student victims from a school shooting. And they placed the name of those students on the steps of our school. And it was a visual to represent the lives that were lost and the tragedy that far too many of our schools have experienced. But again, social justice and student voice at the center. Another example, you see, I love to bring my students with me. We have student leaders. So this was an organization, Teens Taking Action. Our scholars here decided to create an extracurricular club or group, and their primary focus is to bring awareness to gun violence and violence prevention. And they held some seminars and some learning sessions for the community, not just for high school students at University City, but for the broader University City community. So again, social justice and students at the center. Yes, we have our little ones. When we talk about water insecurity or scarcity and just this civic responsibility that we have to being a part of something that's bigger than ourselves, our young scholars at one of our elementary schools learned about what happened in Flint, Michigan. And they wanted to bring awareness to water scarcity. They also studied water scarcity across the globe and understanding how moms and children have to travel miles to get clean water. So they simulated that by carrying jugs of water to a local park And for every jug that they carried, they requested a donation. So it was Walk for Water was their project, and they donated their proceeds to the families and the children in Flint, Michigan. And these are little people, y'all. So we all can do this. Another effort that we have in our district, again, came out of our students. And we had a number of Syrian refugees who were relocated to the St. Louis area. And we learned of the food scarcity and some of the homelessness of those families. So our children wanted to create a giving garden. So our giving garden was born out of that idea. And they grew, and we continue to grow fresh produce. And they actually give it out to families in our community, and they also sell some of the produce at different events across the community, and those proceeds were donated to those families. Here are more photos of our students at our giving garden. And this was a growing together event where our children wanted to make sure that all families understood the importance of having fresh produce and having healthy food options. So we gave away plants, we gave away seedlings. We actually had our expert gardeners on hand to help our families learn how to take care of and tend to their produce at home. And again, just a rich way to see children and family and community coming together. This is our Grow Together, our food network, food garden network. And so it was just a great event. And so this is just another example of how the community and the school can really partner in tandem. And every example that I have just articulated to you has our students at the center. And I think that's powerful, particularly now. Our children have a lot to say. And sometimes if we just stop for a moment and listen to them and support them, it's amazing what they're able to do. And I continue to be proud of our UCity students. So we have pollinators in the house. If you don't know the importance of bees, some of they buzz around and some of us kind of, swat them away, but bees are essential to our ability to have fresh produce and beautiful flowers and gardens that we often enjoy. And so our students wanted to raise awareness to the importance of bees. So we have a pollinator pledge, and they actually have seedlings that they give out to individuals. We have a pollinator van, an actual van that was donated. And our students that you see here, they go around to the community and mostly to our early childhood center. These are middle school scholars. So they go to our early childhood center in our elementary schools and educate our younger scholars around the importance of bees and how they are essential to the life cycle and essential just to our environment. So the pollinator pledge, my name, pledge to protect pollinators and to be a part of the pollinator squad. So they gave out those little pamphlets, and you could become a member of the pollinator squad by giving that pledge. So again, another wonderful way to foster student voice and have students at the center. And yes, we actually take care of bees. So these are our beekeepers. They have learned about the science and the art of beekeeping. They are very brave and courageous. I will tell you a secret. I have never put on one of the suits because I don't have the courage just yet. That's their challenge for me, to put on a suit, but they actually care for the bees, and there's risk involved, but calculated risk, informed risk. And children who never were outdoors, these are urban children, they are doing an amazing job of harvesting honey. We give away the honey at farmers markets, but just a powerful learning tool, and just the awareness of self and the importance of helping others just really exudes from these experiences. So also, I talked about harvesting our produce. So you see a lot of sweet potatoes. This particular season, we had some huge sweet potatoes. And that is a very nutritious food option. It's plentiful, it's filling, and it has a lot of great value from a nutrient perspective. And you can make a lot of different dishes with the sweet potato. So again, you'll see our students harvesting, and they had recipes that they prepared that help families know all the different ways that you can use a sweet potato. But again, these are children, students who may not have wanted to get dirty, may not have wanted to be in a garden, that are really, really thriving. You'll see the picture up top. They're working together. That is really what our sustainability and environmental work is about. It's not about one person, one grade level. This is across the system from pre-K through 12, and our children at the center working together to build a vibrant community. We have chickens. So you'll see the baby chicks on one side of the screen. This is when they were little. Our middle school scholars went to our early childhood center just to teach the young people about the baby chicks, how to care for them, how to hold them. Some of them had never held a baby chick. Honestly, I had never held a baby chick until I was able to hold ours. And then you'll see a bigger photo once they've grown of the full grown chicken. And so we have fresh eggs. They are technically free range. They are in more of a coop. We have a fence around them, but technically they're free range. And we harvest their eggs and use them as well. So again, just thinking about the full life cycle and the empathy that is involved with caring for another being, a being that's more vulnerable, is powerful. And again, this is at our middle school level as well. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and math is in everything we do. You'll see our youngest scholars engaged in STEAM types of activities. This is related to our gardens. All of our schools have a garden, every single building from pre-K through 12. And these are kindergartners. Our kindergartners at one building are the ones who are leading. They are the leaders for the garden. So their teacher there is an amazing human being. She's also a University City graduate. We love when our graduates come back and work with us. But she teaches kindergarten and has done a great job of bringing in the arts and music and science into our STEAM work as our students explore and harvest their produce. Another effort, COVID, we were apart quite a bit. And so we created a huge tarp that was our Growing Together tree. And every leaf that you see on the tree reflects an affirmation from our students or our staff and or community about how they have grown throughout our time being apart due to COVID. We love yoga and mindful practice. So you'll see our youngest scholars on the playground doing a little bit of yoga, mindful practice. Joe the lion is our mascot. And so he also likes yoga. So you'll see Joe the lion there at one of our community events. If we're not well physically and mentally, that affects our entire way of being. And we believe that when children are well and they are connected and they have meaningful relationships and they have voice and choice and they're a part of something that's bigger than themselves, academics and learning can happen. You'll see more photos of our teachers and adults that work with children. They need to take care of themselves too. So you'll see them there getting a little bit of yoga in at a professional development. Yes, professional development that involves yoga, absolutely. And then again, you'll see one of our younger scholars with a parent engaging in yoga outside. We dance. So this is a staff wellness day. For our opening day, we engage staff in a block party. So you'll see them there doing the wobble. If you know what that is, it's a line dance. And then we brought in llamas in a petting zoo. So our teachers could just relax and unplug and just have a soothing moment with an animal. So it was a Block party on steroids with a lot of different activities, but really fostering our commitment to wellness for our adults as well. All of our students through a partnership our kindergarten students received a pair of new sneakers. Why is that significant? Our basic needs matter and are a part of our wellness and approach to being vibrant and healthy beings. And if your feet hurt, you probably can't sit there and focus on that math problem. So all of our kindergarten scholars received a new pair of sneakers as a result of our partnerships. We believe in getting at the heart of equity. So the 1619 project, you may be aware of it, has been under attack, honestly, but we have used it as a way to really think about scholarship, facts, reflection through an equitable lens. So our curricular resources also promote what we value around equity. As a result of that 1619 project, our students said, we think the community needs to learn about the 1619 project. So with our students at the center, we created a community-wide book study where we engaged in 4 evenings of discussion around the book. And we had different speakers to come in, and there was a culminating fireside chat that we hosted. And the focus again was on racial understanding as a community. And yes, we had s'mores. So you'll see our community and our students gathered there with one of our families with her daughter. Our students are our restorative leaders. These are our restorative leaders. So when we talk about restorative practices, it's not just in talk, it is in practice, where our students are at the heart of guiding those conversations with their peers, conducting circles, facilitating circles. And so they are leaders as well. Again, if we just stop for a moment and listen to our young people, it's amazing what they have to say and honestly what they're capable of. So yes, we are a green school. We received that recognition from the U.S. Department of Education. We're very proud of that recognition. So you'll see us there with Congresswoman Bush and 2 of our students and our board president and one of our soon-to-be UCD students, his daughter. So it was just a great day, a great recognition for the work that UCD is doing. And Leslie and her team helped us significantly throughout that process. So we're very appreciative. I talked about joy and well-being. I focus a lot on students, but please don't misunderstand. Adults are equally important. We have to empower educators, the individuals who are on the front line working each and every day. They need the relationships too. They must have voice. And yes, they must have joy and well-being in their work. So I will turn it over to Leslie now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sharonica. And we were just delighted to be able to help in a small way to document all of the many things that you've done as a district. And so I'm hoping that this talk, we really wanted to share it with you because this is something that others can follow in the UCity footsteps on. The Green Ribbon Award that is facilitated by the U.S. Department of Education really honors the 3 pillars of schools working to lower environmental impacts, improve health and wellness, and then incorporate nature-based and place-based education. And you saw that come to life in Sharonica's talk, which was just fascinating, like fantastic. I just want to reiterate the importance of starting with your students and what they're interested in and concerned about, and that whole idea of looking at them as a whole child. That's just so important. If you want to contact me for the UCity application, you can take a look at it. It's 15 pages that really goes into a deep dive of, some of those evidence-based practices that Sharonica was talking about and some of those partnerships that she was talking about, and just really details how when we start with kids at the center, we're going to get to things that in our field, what we've been concerned about for a long time, but you can't get there in an authentic way without really honoring the student first. So if you're interested in following in UCity's steps, if you're in Missouri or if you just want to reach out to me with questions, you can certainly do that. If you're in another state, there are links here with resources to get you going and also find out who is coordinating that effort in your state. So please feel free to use these links. This will be available to the conference attendees. So you'll have this at your fingertips. And I will turn it back over to you. Thank you so much, Sharonica.
Thank you so much, Leslie. And so as we close, we would love to have been there in person or to be able to engage live and have some interaction. Please reach out. This is truly a journey, and we've just highlighted a glimpse of our journey. There's much more I could have shared, and we're not perfect. And so if you have ideas and strategies that you're using in your schools, please connect with me. We love collaboration. We believe that this work is too massive to accomplish alone. And so we must work together. And I want to emphasize again what Leslie shared. Start with your students. And then for the academic folk, this is project-based learning. This is PBL 101. So this is all academic. It is all aligned to standards. It is all aligned to best practices around instruction and those outcomes that we want for students academically. And we believe that it is the work that sticks. I have children that are establishing nonprofits, that are many entrepreneurs, that are exploring all kinds of career paths because of their experiences with our green and sustainability work. So this is life-changing work. And I believe in this day and age, it is the work. So please connect with us, stay with us. Here's my contact information. I am on Twitter. My email address is there. We are an open book. We want to learn from and alongside you. So again, we're incredibly grateful that you joined and listened today. So thank you.